Hi, I'm Brother Jake Fry with Emmanuel Baptist Church, and I'm here to bring you your midweek word for this week. Here we are in the middle of Holy Week, and we're used to being able to celebrate during Holy Week services. We're used to some of us looking forward to a Good Friday service where we take the Lord's Supper together. We're used to tying up loose ends for a great Easter service where we worship together and hear music that a choir has prepared and just really spend time together. Some of us even look forward to buying a new shirt and tie sometimes to celebrate for that. But here we are, and we're being told to stay at home. Quite frankly, I thought when this first started last month, I thought that maybe we'd be able to be in church on Easter. And so for me, it has been kind of a big blow. Not in the sense that I'm just discouraged and feel like all hope is lost, but it's a big deal not to be in church on Easter Sunday. It's hard. For me, I love Christmas. I love everything about Christmas. I love being able to be with family and just what it means biblically and all the celebration leading up to that. But I desperately love Easter. I love celebrating the resurrection with God's people. And so to not be here is going to be different for me. And I'm sure it's going to be different for you all as well. So in a week of activity, we're being told to be still. And we're also told in the Bible that we need to take time and be still. Some of you may already know where I'm going with this, but in Psalm 46, the Bible speaks to what it means to be still, and it speaks to what we should do while we're being still. So let me read a psalm that many of you have already heard before, and specifically spend time in verse 10. So Psalm 46, verse 10. The Bible tells us this: "Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress." What a promise, and how relevant for this week that we're in. We're used to being so busy, but now we have to stay home and not go anywhere. And we have to be still. You know, David was writing this psalm, and it's a psalm about trusting God in the middle of calamity. He said earlier back in Psalm 46 that though the waters may foam, the oceans may rage, the mountains may tremble, though all of these things may happen, we're going to trust you because we know who God is. And so, friends, for one, let me just encourage you to put your faith and trust in God during this time, especially during Holy Week. But I want to also point you to the fact that we need to be still. Yes, we need to stay home because of social distancing. We don't want to make anyone else sick. Yes, all of that is true, of course. But we need to be still and not waste the time that we've been given. You know, I think that God is going to use this time and bring Himself the glory out of it, because so many people are going to be forced to be still and think about who God is, especially during this week. There's no greater week to be still and know who God is than Holy Week, as we're celebrating the fact that Jesus Christ came and gave His life so that you and I could be saved. He was crucified, He was buried, and then on the third day, on Sunday morning, there is a physical, literal, bodily resurrection. And because of that, we can be saved. So friends, don't waste the time. Be still and know who God is. A great way to do that is to read the Scriptures. Read throughout the Gospels. Read even just the chapters that deal with Christ's crucifixion this week, and dwell on them and pray as you read those things. Go read Isaiah chapter 56. Go read Psalm 22. Go read Exodus chapter 12. How all of those things point us to the gospel. And also, if you follow our Facebook page, follow our Easter updates. We're trying to be very intentional about thinking each day some of the things that Jesus did during that time of Holy Week as he approaches the cross on Friday. But I want you to also recognize something here. Even though all of this is going on, God is still going to be glorified. His name is going to be made known through the nations and throughout the entire earth. And so what a great blessing to know then that on Easter Sunday, we may not be able to worship together in the church, but all of social media is going to know that Jesus Christ is alive. And I would just encourage you, make your Facebook status on Sunday morning, Jesus is alive. Let the whole world know it. And what a better way to reach out to people. And there's really not many other options right now than to use social media to do that. So, yes, he is going to be glorified above all things. And Jesus is not hindered by this coronavirus. Please don't think that just because we're not able to be at church on Easter Sunday that God's work has been hindered. He's not hindered at all. And as a matter of fact, God is so wonderful and glorious that he can take something so awful as the coronavirus and work through it and bring glory to himself. And we know these things and we trust these things because verse 11, the Lord of hosts is with us and the God of Jacob is our fortress. So friends, put your hope and trust in Jesus. If you don't know him, I pray that you would take the steps to get to know him. I pray that as you read through his word this week, the Holy Spirit would bring you to himself and that you would know him. And if you want to talk about it, please, by all means, give us a Facebook message. I'd love to talk with you about it. Friends, as always, if there is anything I can do for you, if I can pray with you, if I can bring food to your house, whatever you need, please call me or text me. I'd be happy to do that for you. But more than anything, please don't waste this time we've been given. Be still. Know who God is. And know that on Sunday morning, whether we're at home or whether we're at church, Jesus Christ is alive.